Now you know. I'm with Maxwell, Penn, self-published author, on the street doing what he does. Self-published means independent, meaning you gotta make it work. And today, he's in front of the train station where he knows people may be coming in and out of the train, interested in picking up a brand new book, and why not a book by him?
Hey, how you all doing? This is author, poet, and publisher Maxwell Penn. This is my new book, Larceny of the Heart. Well, actually, this is the debut, Larceny of the Heart. This is the sequel, Larceny of the Heart 2, The American Dream. We're here in New York City in parts unknown. You know, a little tip for some of you people that's doing your thing independently and you want to make sales, you retelling, you may want to be with a large crowd of people. You know, I do books, so I'm near the train station today because it's raining, it's inclement weather, it's cold, people want to, you know, snuggle up to a good book, have something to read on the train. You might want to play, that's too much tips. I was going to give you another tip. You got to put your work in. I'm not going to give nothing away for free. I give a little something, but you got to put your work in too. You got to meet me halfway. You take one step to me, I take two steps to you, and we work it out together because teamwork makes the dream work, and that's absolutely. Now, never forget those words of wisdom from author Maxwell Penn. Pardon me, self-published author Maxwell Penn. I'm here with the beautiful, the resilient, and the vivacious Azalea J. Shouts out to the good people that Sweet Rain Productions. You know, we're doing it like that. One time for the mind.
Drip, drip.
Drip, drip.
Baby.
Big baby. And once again, this is the books right here, Larceny of the Heart 1 and 2. Make sure you pick them up. Spectacular page turners. One is superb, and the other one is spectacular. Together they're supreme. Electrifying reads. I recommend that you and yours get it. Be on the lookout.
So, you mentioned that you got to writing books starting out with music. Did you have any education?
I did take a couple of writing classes. I went to college, and I'm the original college dropout before Kanye. You know, I went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia, and I took up a class called MVB, Music Video Business. And just throughout time, you know, I just paid my dues and got a lot of internships. And at the time, the internships just looked like they wasn't worth it, and it was a lot of hard work and a lot of sorrow. But now, in retrospect, that being, you know, hindsight is 2020, the internships that I had working at record labels and working with magazines is invaluable at this time. So it's kind of was like the Mr. Miyagi thing where telling me, Danielson, the wax on, the wax off, and he didn't even know he was learning. Yeah. So now I'm executing it, and I'm striving to execute it to perfection to bring you all quality material, and you know, this is a start, and it won't stop. The bum brush is on. I'm stepping to the AM.
Now, you mentioned a little bit about having to intern. How did you survive while interning? Because from my experience, interning means you don't get paid. I mean, how do you manage all the hours that a lot of these internships require of you and still survive?
You just have to have the eye of the tiger. Like, I find that people that's successful as artists and independent, you really have to have the eye of the tiger, and like your determination, your will, and your drive is different than other people. That's why you're kind of separated from other people. It's not that you're better than other people, it's just that you're good at what you do, or you're the best at what you do. At the time, I was going to school in Philadelphia, and I would get the train to come to work in New York every other day. You have to have that type of will and determination to really want to make it. And over time, I started getting a paid internship from Penalty Records. I was working with Tommy Boy Records. My market was Delaware Valley, Philly, South Jersey, Delaware, and I was responsible for distributing different merchandise, different goods to them, and doing what was called tracking. At the time, it was before SoundScan, so you had to have a rapport and a relationship with all the retailers, with all the radio personalities, so that training that I got while I was doing that is invaluable to what I'm doing now, because now I understand the rapport that I have to have with the retailers that I deal with the distributors that I deal with, and even the book vendors. Everybody is important. You know, if I have an event, I try to include everybody, because it's a victory lap for all of us. My success is everyone else's success, because you have to realize when you're doing business, even if it's a vendor or whatever, that's your partner in business. Your distributor is your partner in business. The retailer is your partner in business. You don't want to piss these people off, because your stuff will sit there and get dust on it forever and ever, and the purpose is, even though it's art, it's still a business. So it is valuable to network, and it's valuable to get the experience. And you learn over time. Sometimes you may stumble, you may have a couple of stumbling blocks, but you don't want to get caught up on the stumbling blocks. You want to take those lessons you learn from the stumbling blocks and make those into large stepping stones to take it to the next level. So I'm here with Zaya J, and I'm currently striving to take it to the next level.
And that's what we do. Sorry, had to do that.
Okay, this, that, and the third thing. First and foremost, write the book. It's that simple. Sit in front of the computer, in front of the typewriter, and just let it flow from your mind and from your heart, and it'll be finished when it's finished. You know, don't rush it. It'll be done when it's done. Definitely surround yourself with people that's of like mind, of your ilk, that you know what career path that you're trying to take, and you know, make yourself finally a student of whatever it is that you're undertaking. And once you do that, thoroughly execute it. You know, daily. You have to be relentless. You can't let up for one moment, especially if you're independent. Daily, you have to be on top of your A game daily, because being as though if you're going to be independent, you have to be brilliant. You have to be excellent, to where though the larger people can just be mediocre and get the same results. So you have to be on top of your game.
On terms of the interpersonal level, what are the first 3 major steps that you could say you could give someone advice for in terms of how to network? Like, well, what is networking, you know?
To network, like right now we're at the Queens International Film Festival. My brother's having this film here, which is directors on directors. You need to be at different events like that. You know, sometimes you have to sacrifice a couple of dollars to be at events like that, to take your stuff to the next level. You have to interact with people on your social networks, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Amazon, your MySpace, because people, that the computer is so valuable. Everything is pretty much right now. You could sell more merchandise with the press of one button than you could in 3 years, you know, whatever, standing in the street or whatever have you. Although that's important, you have to put your work in and become a seasoned veteran. I find that more times that I've encountered certain authors with big names from different publishing houses, and you meet them, they don't have any swag. You know, you meet them, they just kind of bland. So in that aspect, I have an advantage over them, because I know what it is to interact with people and network with people too, as though they just have a name and they kind of Hollywood. I try not to ever be too. Let me tell you, if any of you out there ever catch me being Hollywood, just, you know, hit me in the rib and say, Max, cut it out, you know, because that's not really what it's about. I'm a brother with my own company, paying my dues, you know, feed my family, and I'm happy to be doing it. I'm happy that people are really being receptive to my art, you know.
Now, what do you mean Hollywood? This is just for the people in the slow lane, you know, driving slow. What do you mean by that?
Oh, they're just so buzzy and you know, caught up into the. Me personally, I don't ever want to lose myself. This is a form of show business, because there's a lot of business and a little bit of show. What happens in show business, what I've learned over time with dealing with people, is that the people, when you're on the come up, they don't want none of the grind, and they want all of the shine. So you have to put your work in and separate the real people from the phony people. People get caught up in the flashy lights, the hot women, the hot guys, and the it car, and that's not what this is. That's all an illusion. That's an illusion to make sales, you know, especially in this economy. Just if people come out and support and they buy your merchandise and they like it, pretty much that's enough for me right now. But if any of you ever catch me getting caught up in the hype, if I get Kanye Westish and I'm going and grabbing microphones from other authors and said that, yo, this author is toy, then, you know, Max, cut it out. Just, you know, it's not you. I don't ever want to be that guy. I just want to be judged on the merit of my work. I mean, you know, it's another thing to, you know, to take your propers when you put in your work and your catalog is up and you paid your dues. You know, just still stay humble, still stay gracious, man. You know, because beauty is only skin deep, and ugliness cuts to the bone. And when you do that, you're showing that you're very big boned. You know.
I'm sorry. Ow!
Never Hollywood. Never Hollywood.
Got that. Okay. So the main point is you got to stay personable. Regardless of whether or not you want to, you have to be personable.
You definitely have to be convivial towards people and personable. Have a good rapport with them because you're building it. I'm building this up one fan at a time, one read at a time. That's all you need. And if your merchandise, I mean your material is any good, it'll show. You just have to put your work in and be patient and persevere. You know, they say that victory is not rewarded to the swift, it's for those who can endure. So, you know, one must have endurance. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. If you're not just an opportunist, if you're really a real artist and you have something to say, you know, you're going to have to run the marathon. And what I've seen right now with the market is that the market is changing because the economy is changing. So I'm seeing a lot of people have to, like even in all forms of entertainment, I don't know if you all are noticing, but there's a lot of like music coming out from different artists because the same monies that was available 10 years ago, 5 years ago is no longer available. It's a bad thing and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's going to separate real artists that have really something to offer away from the opportunists and the facts. So that's definitely a good thing. So, you know, you have to have some, I feel as though me personally, as an author, as any art form that I do, if I do my poetry, if I write a book, I have to have something constructive to say. It has to be some sort of poignant social commentary, you know, and you have to have a volume of it nowadays. No longer can you take 2 and 3 years, especially if you're new, coming out with a new book or a new film, because it's a very, what have you done for me now, type of industry, and you have to, you know, keep your name in people's mouths, on their tongues, and their heart, and on their mind. And, you know, you'll prosper if you have something constructive to say and some good material.
Well, thank you for all that good advice. It's very important to get that. There are some people out there who probably would definitely benefit in your footsteps. Probably got some fans who just want to do the same thing. But enough about all that good stuff. What about your book? Tell us about the book that you got here on the table. You've got 2 of them, actually.